shared her story on Facebook and giving it a hashtag, #ShoutMyAbortion, and it went viral.
Plenty of people still believe that on some level, if you are a good woman, abortion is a choice which should be accompanied by some level of sadness, shame, or regret. But you know what? I have a good heart, and having an abortion made me happy in a totally unqualified way.
Bono says she was not surprised by the outpouring because 1 in 3 women in this country have had an abortion by the age of 45, according to one study.
Within a couple of hours, there were women in and out of my social circle that were just saying, hey, I had an abortion too.
I think the Shout Your Abortion campaign is phenomenal. I love it.
They take it personally.
Look at you! Good actress Martha Flynn also shared she had a positive experience.
For me, in particular, because I did have 2 abortions as a young woman, I feel that my ability to access that kind of medical care made it possible for me to live out my dreams and do what I really wanted to do with my life.
Among other restrictions, the Texas law requires that abortion clinics are more like surgical centers and that doctors have admitting privileges at a hospital within 30 miles.
You want to be a healthcare provider, then act like it. That's what we're saying.
Critics of the law say adhering to these new standards make it impossible for many abortion providers to remain open, especially in a state the size of Texas.
Millions of women in Texas and other states across the region are at risk of losing their constitutional right to access safe abortion care.
Millions of women. The ripple effect could be huge.
Absolutely. We have seen copycat laws in other states in the South.
And since the law was enacted, half of the abortion clinics in Texas have closed.
What kind of personal stories are you hearing?
Stories about women having to travel out of state because the waits for an appointment with an abortion provider in Texas have become so long.
In a new documentary, Trapped, doctors and nurses at Whole Women's Health, one of the Texas abortion clinics that's challenging, share stories about how they had to turn away women in need.
There's a 2 or 3 week waiting list for a procedure where time is of the essence.
I remember getting a call once from a patient. She said, what if I tell you what I have in my kitchen cabinet and you tell me what to do?
But those on the other side of this issue say that the Texas law and others like it are designed to protect women's health. Anti-abortion activists also submitting briefs to the court, citing 3,000 women who they say suffered grievous psychological injuries after their abortions.
A majority of Americans, regardless of whether they say they're pro-life or pro-choice on the issue of abortion, agree that abortion should be safe for women.
Kristen Hawkins is president of Students for Life of America and has recruited thousands to the cause.
Today we've come out to show the Supreme Court justices that this is a pro-life generation. My mission is to abolish abortion and to make abortion unthinkable and illegal.
This is how afraid they are.
She thinks the stricter regulations on abortion clinics across the nation are just the first step. We were with the young mother last year at one of the largest ever anti-abortion demonstrations.
This is what the pro-life movement looks like at its strongest in the United States today. We're at the March for Life, and what you see behind me goes on for miles.
Today I speak to you pregnant with my 4th child, my first daughter. We are the pro-life generation.
To some, like 16-year-old Devin Veers, she's a hero.
Is this your first March for Life? When did you place your son for a child for adoption?
She was in October this year. I was wanted to have an abortion when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And out of choice, I was given the options I could do abortion and not tell anyone, or I can go away from the home. I went to a maternity home, and in October I placed my daughter for adoption. And because of her, I'm not ashamed to have gotten pregnant at my age anymore.
Hawkins regularly conducts what she calls sidewalk counseling outside Planned Parenthood clinics with student volunteers like Sam Serrano of the University of New Mexico.
Usually whenever I sidewalk counsel in the back alley on top of a ladder so that we can reach over to the girls over the wall. You don't have to go through this.
Protect women!
But the young women on the other side, women who could be Serrano's classmates, are just as dedicated. Many of them feel the greatest danger is to women forced to turn to illegal, unsafe alternatives if the Texas law is upheld.
Since these laws have taken effect, there's been an increase in attempts at self-induced abortion in Texas because they simply can't make the trip that is now required in order to reach an abortion clinic.
But for now, Stephanie has done what she can. The case rests in the hands of the 8 remaining justices. But no matter the ruling, we'll likely see this scene play out again and again. This battle isn't ending anytime soon. For Nightline, I'm Gloria Riviera in Washington, D.C.
Next, Modern Family star Ariel and her opening up about why she chose to have a breast reduction.
And later, astronaut Scott Kelly returns home. A science experiment now comparing him to his own twin brother. Modern Family star Ariel Winter grew up in the limelight, facing harsh online criticism constantly. Now she's speaking candidly about her breast reduction surgery and opening up about what she says was a troubling childhood. Here's ABC's Amy Robach.
I'm not, but that's okay. I'm the smart one.
We fell in love with her as Alex Dunphy.
Yes, I'll be an Amazonian carnivorous fish.
The brainiac, witty middle child on Modern Family.
He's beating me and we're good friends. How's that even possible?
And over 7 seasons, we've watched Ariel Winter grow up on screen from an 11-year-old girl to an 18-year-old woman. And just last year, when she was 17 years old, she decided to undergo breast reduction surgery, going from a 32F to a 32D.
Why did you decide, ultimately, to get a breast reduction surgery?
I had wanted to get a breast reduction since I developed because I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't sit up straight. It was always super uncomfortable for me to sleep. It was uncomfortable to sit. It was uncomfortable to walk. And I remember breaking down in dressing rooms because I couldn't find a bathing suit because they had no top that would fit me. I just didn't feel right, and I did it for myself. It was the best change I ever made in my life.
What's been the most noticeable change post-surgery for you?
I think maybe my mood in general. I think I'm just much happier, and I just feel a lot more secure with myself.
You're lighter in every way.
Exactly.
You wore a stunning gown SAG Awards, and you were not afraid to show your scars.
I'm not. And the funny part is, I didn't even notice them. I didn't think to cover them. I didn't even think twice. And it really astounded me when I was getting a lot of comments from people telling me to put my scars away and that they were gross. And I think that's just so ridiculous considering they're part of me. They're not going away. I know so many people that have scars, and there's nothing wrong with scars.
Scars are cool.
Scars are cool. They make us who we are. We have stories from them.
Although she's young, Winter says she's already had a lifetime of challenging experiences.
You were thrust into the limelight at a very young age. Were you prepared for what came with that?
I don't think anyone's prepared to be so young and having everybody's eyes on you, especially now, you know, as I've gone through some really big moments in my life. Being in front of the spotlight has been pretty difficult because you have everybody's opinions, and so I think it was a little shocking for me in the beginning.
Part of that shock was from the public scrutiny, online bullying, and body shaming she experienced.
Walking down the red carpet and seeing the photos afterward and having every headline be about my cleavage and not about my talent, not about what I was really there for or anything that I wanted to be put out there. And I thought that was really disappointing.
You know, just the fact that we're sitting here discussing your decision and what went into deciding whether or not to have breast reduction surgery. I mean, is it crazy to you that the level of scrutiny girls and women face each and every day, especially those in front of the camera?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It really bothers me, but, you know, I can only do my part.
She's hoping her experience will help other girls and wishes for a day when women in Hollywood are no longer scrutinized for their looks. But despite her success as an actress, she says it's a path she might never have chosen.
I think that when I was born, it was kind of already decided what I was expected to be, and so I was kind of pushed into the industry. That's not to say I don't love it. It's not my passion now. I do love it.
Her work as an actress started when she was just 4 years old. From there, the TV roles came one after another, guest starring in Crossing Jordan.
She says he didn't love us.
Come on, sweetie, wake up.
Criminal Minds.
I want to find my mommy. I don't like her.
She even appeared on the final 6 episodes of ER as a girl whose mother needed a heart transplant.
Said she can only live like a month.
She's been working ever since.
Did you have what most people would say is a stage mom?
She most definitely was. This is what she wanted me to do, and she pushed very hard for that and kind of put that in the forefront of her mind instead of really what I wanted and what I needed. And that was definitely hard, but I don't think that was the only issue.
Winter went through several years of legal battles with her mom over allegations of emotional and physical abuse. In a statement to ABC News, Winter's mother said, "To further her career, Ariel is conjuring up stories, and I deny all of Ariel's accusations." Ultimately, the actress became emancipated from her mother.
It wasn't a supportive, loving home. I had a really tough time.
Winter is not only kid star who emancipated herself from a parent. Home Alone actor Macaulay Culkin did it after a financial dispute and custody battle. And then there is Drew Barrymore, who emancipated at the tender age of 14. According to her memoir, she and her mother haven't had much contact since.
Do you have a relationship with your mom at this point?
I don't. We haven't spoken in 3.5 years. It's really hard to have that kind of drama in your life and to be going through that court situation and have an open court case and have everybody look at it, because it's already hard enough for abuse victims, but it's harder in the public eye when everybody has an opinion and there is no black and white of the situation.
You were